back to my official YouTube channel. This is Gaurav Ayaan, and look, we were about to go live once the day finishes, but it looks like the official confirmation will be given shortly, and we will have a very what do you call it? Close day so much early right now because the rain and the bad light is interrupting a match again and again and again. So I have been joined by Lucas. Lucas, how are you, mate? Looks like you are very sleepy.
Yeah, it's 2 a.m. here, and yeah, very tired, but I'm up and I'm ready to do the show.
Okay, so from where we should start? You tell me. You tell me
Well,
where should we
obviously,
start? Should we start from the
well,
first session? Let's go with the first session. So, if you take my point of view, I think the first session went from what do you call it, from the Indians' favor, because I think if you forget about the Rohit Sharma wicket, then the entire first session was in India's favor.
yeah, the first session, England were very poor with the ball. In England, India completely dominated them with KL Rahul, Rohit Sharma. They punished the bad balls. I think the only good bowler that was worth mentioning was Ollie Robinson. James Anderson
Okay.
was very economical, but he wasn't really dangerous. Stuart Broad and Sam Curran were very disappointing. Joe Root didn't even bowl. But no doubt it was
Obviously.
India's session. Unfortunately, Rohit Sharma stupidly threw his wicket away from a short ball. Um,
And this is nothing new, man. And this is nothing new. He has been throwing his wicket consistently after getting set, after he faced a lot of hard, after he went on with this all the starting few overs, and he has faced the what do you call it, the hard work in the first hour, and then he has once again thrown his wicket away. Once he should have capitalized on the big moment. Once again, he got out on the 30s.
yeah, he fought all the work with James Anderson. Because James Anderson was bowling very tightly.
Yeah.
He may not be looking dangerous, but he was containing them. He was keeping the economy rate down. And
Yes.
Rohit Sharma and KL Rahul really couldn't get anything against him. Now, when Curran came on and Broad came on, that's when they started to attack. Rohit Sharma played a couple of drives down the ground, a couple of cover drives also. And just before tea, Robinson came on.
I
Again,
think
didn't
just
look
before
threatening.
lunch.
Yeah,
Just before
it
lunch.
wasn't. Yeah, the Indian batsmen probably were never threatened. Here and there, a couple of mid
Yeah.
plane misses, but they were really never threatened for a period of even 5 minutes,
Yeah.
or a couple of overs where you thought that India were really struggling. You never sensed that. And Robinson just
Yeah.
before lunch bowled a short delivery, and Rohit Sharma went after it. Could not control himself, and he hit
Yes.
it to fine leg, and it was a very disappointing dismissal.
And if you think about the Rohit Sharma, I was just having some of his discourse in the overseas. He keep getting out on the 30s, and once again he faces that difficult situation. Once as an opener, obviously you're gonna face some chin music and all this. Then once again, once he should be cashing on this opportunity, he gets out on the what do you call it, on the situation where he should have scored a big 100.
You know, when you get past 20 in Test match cricket,
Exactly.
that's a start. That's what you call a start. That's what you call it. You survived the first hour, and you've got
You
your
have
eye in,
survived.
and you should.
You have survived a difficult time also.
Yeah, yeah. So you survived the first hour, and now you should be getting your eye in. You should be getting the bat behind the ball and making runs.
Yeah.
And he did that. But once again with Rohit Sharma, this isn't not, as you said, this is nothing new. He's done this repeatedly, time and time again.
Yes.
Whether it's a short ball, whether it's a dash outside off stump, it seems to me that the T20 player within him, in his mind, is just not turning off. It's not clicking off, saying, you know what, let's just get to lunch, let's just get to tea, It's just not, nothing in the back of his head is switching off. And when he gets these deliveries that are short and wide, or if they are full and wide, he just wants to blast it out of the attack. And in Test match cricket, I said this yesterday, you cannot do that. You have to use your defense in these type of moments. And in these type of moments, unfortunately, Rohit Sharma has not been able to do that. Very disappointing. We've actually lost Guinevere, so I'll continue this awkwardly. But anyway, so Rohit Sharma got out in the just before lunch. You know, they took lunch when Rohit Sharma got out. So lunch happened. You know, they come after lunch, and then it was just a one-man show. It was just the James Anderson show. Came out, bowled absolutely fantastically. He bowled unbelievable. James Anderson bowled absolutely unbelievable. Got the ball swinging all over the place. Was absolutely fantastic. And here comes Guinevere. I was just mentioning James Anderson, how unbelievable he was in that. I was just mentioning how brilliant James Anderson was in that second innings. He got the crucial breakthrough. He got Pujara. You know, he survived. Pujara survived an LBW shout that just went over from Ollie Robinson, and then James Anderson came in, took care of Pujara, and all the big talk about Kohli and James Anderson, how we've seen it in the two past tours. Unfortunately, Virat Kohli did not last long. And what I mean didn't last long, he got out first ball. Absolute brilliant delivery
Am I
by
audible
James.
right now, Lucas?
Yes,
Lucas, am I audible right
yep,
now?
yep, keep going.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just finished the internet issue. That's why I was out of this broadcast. So once again, thank you, Lucas. You have managed to cover all those things once I was not
Yep.
there. And so
Yep.
I was just saying that Rohit Sharma was once again was hard done by his situation and his by what you call it, the intent of playing the hook shot. He shouldn't have played. He shouldn't have played that shot, and obviously that was the last over before the lunch, and that was the what do you call it, the situation England was looking for to get back on this game.
Yeah, he could have easily left that delivery. He could have ducked under it. He could have swayed. He could have done anything he could have done except for do what he did. Was mistimed it and straight down fine leg's throat. It's just such a shame because he could have scored anything today. He could have literally scored anything. You know, in a way, we saw this with Agarwal against Lyon. You know, when he played his first two Test matches, where he got carried away, took Lyon down the ground. You know, he could have got anything that day as well. This is why defense is so crucial in Test match cricket.
But mate, don't forget that the situation was little easier on that period of time, because obviously the middle order batsmen like Cheteshwar Pujara, Virat Kohli, and Rahane for that matter was in the brilliant nicks. But currently the situation is quite worse right now. The middle order has been the worry for Team India for a very long time. That has not been a very good form for a very long period of time. Virat Kohli and Ajinkya Rahane. So that was a what do you call it? A big chance given by Rohit Sharma to have that opportunity, and England went it count, make it count to that situation.
And like I said, he was never in trouble. You cannot say that for first like 2 overs in a row he was in trouble. He was absolutely cruising. He was playing good. He was actually playing good defensive shots against Jimmy Anderson. And like I said, to throw your wicket away was very silly.
And let's move on to KL Rahul first. Then we will definitely discuss some other batsmen also. And obviously we have to discuss lots of about Pujaras, the Rahanes, then the Kohlis. So let's move from the middle order batsman to the top order batsman. Obviously, what's your think of KL Rahul? Once he bats, it looks everything is so easy.
Well, yeah, KL Rahul was absolutely brilliant. easily India's best batsman, along with Rohit Sharma. Difference is
Yeah.
KL Rahul went on with it and didn't play silly
Yes.
shots. He did exactly what Rohit did. He used good defense on James Anderson, and when Sam Curran and Stuart Broad came onto the field to bowl, he took care of him. He blasted them out of the attack properly with sensible shots, and he was absolutely fantastic. Got his half century, and he has been the man in form for India in this tour, starting with the county game where he made that 100.
The
So
100. Yes.
he at this present time, you have to say that KL Rahul is India's best batsman at this period of time, because his form has been absolutely outstanding, and he
Yes.
deserved his fifth. He deserves his 50. The way he's been playing, he deserves 100. Unfortunately, he might run out of partners before that time comes.
Come
But
on,
he
man.
was
Don't say like this. Don't
yeah,
say this. Say like this, man.
but he was nothing short of absolutely excellent
Yes.
today. And he's tried to put India in a very good position. Unfortunately, the middle order did not come to the party and has supported him.
We'll get back to middle order as soon as possible once we finish the KL Rahul 50s, because I think if you take my opinion, he played brilliant. Obviously, the situation was against him. This was obviously his first and last opportunity, because obviously Mayank Agarwal gonna be coming back as soon as possible once he's fit. So this is the opportunity, and he made it count. And
Yeah,
obviously he was back, and obviously he was back in the test team after 2 years, so that was also a big pressure on him to perform.
well, the way he played in the first innings, you can't drop him now. So
Yes.
that's another decision India's got to do. Do they move him back to five, where he made that 100 against the county level, or do they keep him as an opener? Um,
Yes.
that in a way that's a good headache to have, because at least you've got one good batsman in form.
Go ahead, mate. Go ahead.
Yeah, so it's a good problem to have, because at least India have one good batsman in form, and unfortunately the rest of them are terribly out of form. Rohit Sharma was in form. I think Rohit Sharma, he was another guy. Well, the two openers look fantastic. Um, they took care of the new ball, and they were absolutely brilliant until Rohit Sharma played that awful shot. KL Rahul has been brilliant, but it's the lower order that has been the problem for India in the middle order. So KL Rahul has taken his chance. He's probably going to get another go, because you can't drop him after this performance. And yeah, he deserves to get another chance after this innings.
And as you have discussed lot of thing about this middle order, so let's move on to the famous our middle order batsman. Let's move to Cheteshwar Pujara. Then what happened to him? How long he gonna be playing like this? And obviously it's not about the all about the Cheteshwar Pujara. It's the Virat Kohli and the Jinkar Rahane. They have been out of form for a very long period of time, and obviously with the bigger the big teams like obviously the Australia, the New Zealand thing, the middle order is the biggest strength of their team. Obviously, they're key to success.
Yeah, something quite interesting I found out with Pujara. He was bad this test match. It wasn't like he got a good ball. He was in LBW strife before. It could have been out. Last minute review or last second review saved him there with the height of Ollie Robinson. I noticed that when Jimmy Anderson got him out, this was the same deliveries that Josh Hazlewood got him out with. Outside,
Yes.
pitching on off stump, then coming out towards the slips. That's a lot of dismissals that Josh Hazlewood took against Pujara in January in the Indian series, and this is another exactly the same dismissal that James Anderson has got, pitching off stump and coming out to Pujara. And I've noticed with Pujara's blocking, he's very square.
And his
When he
bat
edged,
comes up from the second slip also. His
yeah,
bat comes from the second slip, and once the ball coming in,
yeah,
he found it a little difficult because obviously he what do you call it? He comes very the bat comes very late on the straight, like and until then the balls just stick past the stumps.
yeah. When he edged that ball, the bat was kind of on an angle. Now we've
Yes,
seen with the Pujara of old, that bat is straight. That's not hitting
yes,
any edges. His feet is not moving. So that just tells you he's got a confidence problem.
yes.
You just do not wake up. You don't wake up overnight and forget how to bat.
Obviously.
That doesn't work.
So it
Yeah,
also suggests that he's having some what do you call it, the lack of confidence that he's is having right now. That's why it is showing on his game also.
yeah. You know, you can say, oh, he had a good net session. Net sessions do not mean anything. You know,
Obviously,
they do not mean anything in match day scenarios. You know,
yes,
practice matches are to get your techniques right.
yes,
Sorry, batting in the nets to get your techniques right. Batting in the nets does not help your confidence
yes.
because you know the bowlers that you are facing are kind of going to be kind to you. They're not going to bowl at your head. You know, they're not going to bowl 150 k's an hour. In a way, they're going to try to keep the batsman protected. You know, against bowlers in matches, they're not going to do that. They're going to try to take your head off. They're going to try to push your limits, mentally,
Okay.
physically, and emotionally. So you know you can do whatever you want to do in a net. It will not work out for you. You have to
And
do it in
obviously
matches.
there are only one bowlers, and you don't find any fielders behind your back and behind and
No,
in
yeah,
front of you also.
that is the mental pressure that I'm talking about. You know,
Yes,
you know you have to deal with short legs. You have to deal with four slips, as you said, a keeper. You know, his feet may move in a net because he's most suitable there. But when you feel pressure,
yes,
mental pressure, it gets to you no matter who you are. You know,
yes.
and I think he's dealing with a huge confidence problem. His feet is not moving, and his bat is on an angle. He's getting, as he calls, square up. He's getting squared up in his
Squared up.
defence.
Yes.
He's not taking that leap forward. So my advice to him to get out of this is to move forward. Is to, as stupid as this may sound, get some rope around your legs in the nets, tie it around your legs, and learn to move forward with it. Now that sounds absolutely stupid, but
And look,
that. Yeah,
people are also saying,
yeah,
people are going after him that you should drop Cheteshwar Pujara. But why are you counting only Cheteshwar Pujara's bat form?
mm,
Virat Kohli hasn't been a very good.
yeah,
Nick Ajinkya Rahane is looking like he has been a suicidal. He has just made a suicidal run out. So it's
yeah,
not only about Pujara's fault. It's about the middle order that making the same mistake again and again. They are keep getting out and out on the difficult situation again and again. It's
yeah,
not the first
absolutely.
time. It
No,
obviously, as I told you earlier, the most of the times we lost a match in overseas, or we have lost the series in the overseas. It is just because of our batting, and the middle order has been a big disappointment for a very long period of time.
yeah,
Lucas, go ahead.
yeah. Well, I said to you, you know, Josh Hazelwood made a mockery out of Pujara, you know, with the same ball over and
Yes,
over again. You know, and we've seen James Anderson bowl that same delivery. We've
yes,
seen Virat Kohli, you know, when he played that one test in Adelaide, just outside off stump, you know, where a ball where he could have left alone, and he nicked it when India made that horribly low score. And again with James Anderson, outside off stump, where Kohli could have easily left that go, and he's edged at it, he's poked at it. Again, that's a nervous start. You know, Kohli is not a nervous starter. He's not a Mitchell Marsh. You know, where it takes
yes.
20 balls to get him to put on his bat. You know, he's a flamboyant cricketer that likes to be aggressive.
Yes,
So that's also a confidence problem with Virat Kohli. And Virat Kohli has never had a confidence problem. You know,
yes,
he averages 54 in Test match cricket.
yes.
So it it's kind of, you know, as I said, it's kind of a confidence problem.
And look,
Now,
I just found an interesting stats in the overseas. Batting averages of Indian batsmen in their last 10 away test. Okay, I'm just sharing you all this stats. Rohit Sharma is having an average of 29. Okay, KL Rahul is having an average of 29. Cheteshwar Pujara is having an average of 24. Virat Kohli is having an average of 30. Ajinkya Rahane is having an average of 41. Obviously, he performs better in the overseas. And Rishabh Pant is having the best average in this Indian team, which is 46. So you can well imagine what is the situation of our middle order batsmen.
Well, Rahane and Richard Punt were arguably the two best batsmen in Australia.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
so that Rohit was not good in Australia. Can't really count Kohli because he only played one test with his pregnant wife.
Yes.
Pujara made one good innings, but Hazelwood absolutely turned him inside out. And Jadeja and Ashwin weren't that much great either. So Rahane and Richard Punt have been India's best batsmen, but Rahane's been out of form. So
Yes.
when your two best batsmen, when you brought up that stat, and one of those is out of form, and it makes it incredibly hard to make runs as a team.
Okay, we have discussed about the Cheteshwar Pujara scenario, that he needs to work on some of the techniques issues that he is currently facing. Let's move to one of the best batsmen of this generation, Virat Kohli. What is he having the problem? He has not scored 100 over 600 days now, and obviously once again that same fifth what do you call fifth line stump where Jimmy
Yep.
Anderson keeps getting him out, and the same length getting him the better of Virat Kohli again.
Uh, and it's the same deliveries. These are not in swingers.
Yes.
He's nicking. This is
Yes.
a fifth line area
Fifth stump line.
where
Yes.
it's out swinging outside of that. Now we saw in Adelaide. I think it was Pat Cummins who bowled the same thing to Virat Kohli. Fifth stump line. Virat Kohli again could have left it and nicked it.
Yes.
Same with James Anderson. He could have left it, but he decided to play out it, and his feet did not move at all. It was
Yes.
really a nothing. It was really a nothing shot. It wasn't even a defense. It wasn't attack. It wasn't a cover drive. It was kind of just it's out there. I'm just going to poke at it. So
Yes.
again, that's a confidence problem. And when you don't make runs for a long time, it gets to you. The pressure builds. It goes higher and higher and higher until
And
yeah.
Lucas, just want I have to ask one thing very serious on this. Once you are not in the form, in the not very good frame of mind, you are not having so many runs on your side. So once you are going to the pitch, once you play the ball, you always try to play every ball with the bat. Is this the mindset problem once you are not having too many runs?
Well, like I said, this is the difference between test matches and white ball cricket. In test
Yes.
match cricket, you have to be patient. It's a mental game.
Obviously.
The bowler, bowls. Sorry about that. Test bowlers bowl sometimes 20 overs a day, depending
Yes.
if they're getting thrashed. Yeah, and sometimes when a bowler is dominating, they know exactly where to bowl it and how you're going to get out. You have to let the bowler bowl to you. You can't let the bowler dictate your play, how you go about things. And I think what Virat Kohli is a victim of, because he's not making runs, the
Yes.
mental game is getting too much. He's getting so much pressure. We saw Steve Smith after the 2019 Ashes, where everyone was calling him Don Jr. or especially me, Don Bradman Jr. And stuff like that. He's only scored one century since those Ashes. And when he played poorly against Pakistan, where he got bowled out to Yasir Shah, pressure was building. It was building and building. Even New Zealand, struggled with the short ball. It was building and building. And when he and you saw that expression when he made that 100 in the last test in India, the last test, not the first test, the last test. You could see he just lifted an amount of weight from his shoulders. And I think
I think
Virat
he scored
Kohli,
100 in the third test match, right? If I'm not wrong, third test match.
yeah. So yeah, and he lifted a huge weight off his shoulders. And it
Yes.
seems to me that Coley's playing like that as well. You know, I think he's 100 away from releasing that pressure, but he needs to find
Yes.
a way. He needs to
To
find a
score a
way.
big
It's easy.
100.
It's easier to say go make 100. That's easier said than done. But once he makes that 100, the pressure will be off him. He'll be thinking, finally, I've made 100. I feel good. I can go back to the way I've been playing all these years, just like we
Yes.
saw with Steve Smith. So he is 100 away, but he needs to find a way. He needs to be confident. And if he keeps working at it, the more effort you put in, the better results. Now, it's all good smacking balls in training like he has done in the past with videos. But like I said, that doesn't matter until you play in a real game. He decided to skip that county championship match because of his back. Now whether that's an injury excuse, we know with Coley, he doesn't use injuries as excuses.
No, no, no.
Him, Steve Smith, whoever it is, Bubba's when they don't make runs, they'll admit, I'm not doing too well. He's not a player
Yes.
that makes excuses.
Yes, sir.
So he needs to somehow find a way to be confident, to move his feet, and to be patient. Not let the mental game get into your head.
Obviously, let's move on. We have discussed about the Virat Kohli. What happened to Ajinkya Rahane, mate? But the consistency is the main problem for a very long period of time with Ajinkya Rahane. Obviously, once you see with the batsmen that they have scored 100 and they will once again they carry on for a very long period of time. They grab their opportunity or they grab their good form and they make their good form count for a very long period of time. But it doesn't happen with Ajinkya Rahane. He has a problem with the consistency for a very long period of time, and it is still happening again and again. Lucas, go ahead.
See, this innings is very hard to judge because he got ran out. He didn't get bowled. He didn't get caught. He didn't get edged behind the
But
slips.
he looks obviously
Yeah,
impatient during this
yeah,
short period of time. He obviously
yeah,
once again he just obviously he got run out earlier also, but I think that direct hit missed by the stump
yeah.
for obviously 1 2 meters. That doesn't matter. He
It
looked very impatient in the short period of time.
it it wa- it was a very poor judgment of running.
Oh,
Let's be said, it wasn't even close. I don't know what he
yes.
was trying to do, and maybe he just wanted to get down the other end. He was impatient. Again, impatience shows um, a lack of ability. It shows a lack of defense. It shows that I don't want to be facing all these deliveries. It shows a lack
Yes.
of confidence. Sorry, that's what I was
Confidence.
trying to find. Lack of
Lack
confidence.
of confidence. Yes.
Trying to get off strike all the time. This is a test match. This isn't a run a ball, white ball game like ODIs or T20. This is a test match. I'm sorry, but you have to learn to defend. And
Yes.
it showed that he just wanted to get off strike way too quickly. No confidence. Again, because he wasn't there for long. Very very hard to judge. But he did show an intent of not did not want to be part of that on strike. He just wanted to get out of there, let KL Rahul at the other end take all the deliveries, and that is a little bit lack of confidence, which seems
Okay.
to be running.
Running through the Ajinkya Rahane's mind, right?
Yep, yep.
Obviously, let's move on with Ajinkya Rahane. What happened with this bad light session again and again, man? Been in the England and this bad weather and obviously the bad light. It's keep happening again and again. And obviously, all thanks to England, they got bundled out very cheaply on the first inning. Obviously, if they batted for a very long period of time, then it would have been a very frustrating for this what do you call for the spectator also to having to face all this bad light situation. So what just tell me why this is happening again and again with this bad lighting issues.
Sometimes I wish when issues like this happen, sometimes I wish I was a bigger personality because I could influence to change the rules. This is a disgrace. This
Yes.
does not happen just in England. This happens everywhere. This happens in Sri Lanka. This happens in South Africa. This happens in Australia. This happens in
Yes.
England. I've seen it happen in Bangladesh, for crying out loud.
Yes.
It, it it's one of the biggest disgraces in cricket. We're in a pandemic. England, Australia are privileged to have crowds because they've unlike other
less there are less corona cases.
yeah, that they're privileged to play cricket because of the lack of no cases,
Yes.
or the way their government. Now, I don't want to upset other governments from other countries, but the
No, no,
way
no, no.
the way their
It is not
government have handled
yes.
the way their government have handled COVID compared to other governments in other countries. Now, I understand India have got a 10 times bigger 100 times bigger population than Australia, and
Obviously.
it's hard to contain that. Same with other
Yes.
countries, but Australia, New Zealand, and England, they're one of the countries that are privileged to have crowds. Okay,
Yes.
now some other countries like West Indies, we've seen Bangladesh, we've seen Sri Lanka, we've seen Pakistan, India have no crowds.
Yes.
Now, listen very carefully. We're in a pandemic, whether people like it or not. This is going away. This isn't going to go anywhere anytime soon. This isn't going to go away anytime
Exactly.
soon. This is going to be here probably another. I can't guess, but it's going to be here for a while.
Okay.
People come in, and at this time, where economy hits, countries are hit by economy because of this COVID, and they can't afford to watch cricket when there are crowds in. And you go off for bad light at 1:30 p.m. in the afternoon,
Yes.
not 4:30, not 5 o'clock, not 5:30, not 6 o'clock, 1:30 in the afternoon, and you decide it's too much bad light. You have got to be joking. That is an absolute disgrace. I don't care if you're in England, Australia. I don't care if it's cloudy. I couldn't care less if the stadium lights are on. It's 1:30 p.m. That's a half an hour. That's an hour after lunch. After
Yes.
lunch, and you decide to come off. You bring out your little light meter, and you think, okay, that's enough. In the middle of pandemic where people pay, money to get
Lot of
into
money.
cricket because they want to see cricket because of crowds, and an economy era where it's hard to get money, and you take them off
Yes.
for that. You have got to be kidding. That is an absolute. That's a disgrace. What happened today with that umpires? They should be sacked immediately. That that
And
that that was
this is not the fault of the umpire, man. Obviously, they check with the light meters, and obviously, it's
yep
not if
yep
it is not good, and obviously they can't continue with the game. They can't take a risk, and obviously, it's hard on the other team also if the batsman is having. Obviously, the team is struggling. Some team is in good
yep.
scenario. If you imagine, and they have to play in the bad light also, and they bundle out cheaply, so it doesn't go well with the team. So it's not all about the umpires. It's about the condition of the ground, and it's the lighting condition also needs to look at now very seriously, because if you know this that the situation is cloudy, and we have to be a what do you call it we have to face the light issues, the proper light issue, then you have to be prepared for that.
Not at 1:30 in the afternoon. Like, come on. That's more closer to 5 a.m. than it is to night time. When everybody's
Yes.
waking up. There's no excuse for that. There's no excuse. Now, obviously,
If
watching.
you have the red ball, can you show me how it is difficult to find in the lights?
Yeah. So I've got two cricket balls here.
Yeah.
Now you can clearly see which one's the pink and which one's the red. All right.
Yes.
Now this is the point I'm going to make. All right.
Just show the
just stay with me. Just stay with me. Just stay with me.
Okay.
So I'm going to put this ball up. I'm going to throw this ball and catch it.
Yeah, it is difficult. It is
Now,
really difficult to analyze.
I'm going to do with the pink ball now.
Yeah, it is much easier to find.
Yeah. This is what the ICC should do instead of wasting everybody's time and coming off at farcical bad lights, where sometimes it's not even bad light when you can actually see natural light come through the sky. This is what they should do. They should abandon the red ball altogether. If you
just show the red ball? Can you again just show the red ball to our viewers? Red ball. Forget about the pink ball. Yeah, and just throw up. Yeah, very difficult, man, to see the ball. That
Yep,
is why they called the obviously the bad light,
yep,
and it is very difficult once you throw the ball up. It is very difficult to see the
yep.
ball. So you can imagine with the batsmen also, they find it
I,
very difficult to see the ball.
Now, don't get me wrong. When it's bad light, when it's dark, it's dangerous. But I saw
Yeah,
natural light come through that sky. We're talking about 1:30 in the afternoon, not 5 o'clock, not 6 o'clock, where the sun goes down. The sun's at its highest peak at
yes,
1:30. I'm no astrologist or anything, but that's where literally the sun is at its highest at 1:30, 2 o'clock around that, then it starts to go down. It, it, and by coming off at 1:30 p.m. for that bad light, you're setting now the tone. Once you come off a bad light, that has to be that once that light meter reads what it reads and you come off, you have to go by that the entire test. So we're going to see, are we
yeah,
going to see play come off at 12 o'clock? We're going to see it come off at 10:30. You've now set that. That's the rule of the ICC. Once the light meter reads that lightage or the reading, and you come off, you have to abide by that the whole test match.
yes.
That's the rule. So it's an
Hey,
absolute fast. So this is why we need to replace the red ball. Now I'm not saying we need day-night test matches. Not every You don't have to have day-night test matches. Get rid of the red ball. If you get rid of the red ball, you will eliminate this fast. You will get. If you get rid of the red ball, there's no reason why you can have 90 overs in a day and don't have to worry about bad light. You can play an extra half and you can go till 6:30, and you can literally with the pink ball, you can literally force a bowling team to bowl their 90 overs by
yes,
playing a red ball because they don't have to worry about bad light. Right now,
yes,
I understand during that kind of time the red ball swings. Sorry, the pink ball swings at it starts to swing more than the daytime.
yes, yes.
But that's Test match cricket. That's the mental game of Test match cricket. It's a farce. The ICC need to look at this. They need to say, you know what, we can't come off at 1:30 p.m. no more. We have to replace the red ball with the pink ball during day games, right? And that will force bowlers, force the game to go an extra hour and make sure those 90 overs are bowled.
Okay, Lucas, I think we are done for the day. It's time to wrap the show. Thank you, Lucas, for joining. It was a proper information you have given about the red ball, the pink ball, and obviously the entire day's play. It was enjoyable to have you in my company, and it was
And one
enjoyable
more,
to. Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
and one more thing with the pink ball, it will last longer than the red ball. We
Obviously,
saw
obviously,
we've
obviously.
seen Stuart Broad after 10 overs go to the umpire and say, check this ball out. It's out of shape.
Yes.
That won't happen with a pink ball. It lasts longer. So why not use it during day games?
Okay, okay, okay. No issues, mate. We'll discuss tomorrow about that. And once the day is, hopefully, we have a full day tomorrow, and we will have a proper day of a test match. So we'll meet tomorrow, Lucas. Thank you for joining us. It was a pleasure talking with you. Hope you have enjoyed the show as much as I do.
No problem. I have. Thank you very much.
So guys, do like it. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for latest update on the cricket. We will be joining tomorrow. Till then, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter also with the name of It's Gaurav Ayaan. I am everywhere with the name of It's Gaurav Ayaan. Till then, Lucas, just say everybody to make sure to hit like and subscribe.
Yeah, make sure you like and subscribe. Share your video with your friends. And share on Twitter, your Facebook, Instagram, wherever you have your social media, and make sure you subscribe.
Until then, we will meet tomorrow after the day's play. Till then, bye guys. Good night. Take care.